Tonight, reactions from around Boone County as officials consider pausing property tax increases.
We've got some rain chances in the forecast. That's a welcome sight. We'll talk about the opportunity for rainfall and when you will see it. That's in my first alert forecast.
Plus, the U.S. is ramping up its military support for Israel. This is KOMU 8 News at 9.
Coverage you can count on. KOMU 8 News starts now.
A state law to freeze property taxes for people over 62 is still frozen itself in Boone County as the county commission looks at what it would mean for local budgets. Good evening, everyone. I'm Emily Spain. Thanks so much for joining us tonight. While the county commission waits for more information, one state house rep is through waiting. KOMU 8's Tia Maggio is here with more on the law and what's next. Tia.
Yeah, Emily, the law went into effect in August, and it gives counties the freedom to decide whether to freeze property tax rates for senior citizens. But the Boone County Commission hasn't decided if it will do that yet. One homeowner I talked to told me it's time to lock down the rates. Bonnie Lee has lived in Columbia for over 30 years. She said she worries if she will be able to afford the taxes on her home.
If my taxes continue as they are, we've lived in Columbia almost 39 years now, that I will have paid enough taxes to almost pay again for my home.
Senate Bill 190 allows counties the opportunity to freeze property tax increases for senior citizens who meet certain requirements. So far, 5 counties have implemented the law, but not Boone County. The commission says it needs more time to see how this would affect public entities that rely on property tax revenue.
Still waiting to hear back from some, and don't feel comfortable making such a big decision without getting kind of a full understanding of the picture.
Boone County Presiding Commissioner Kip Kendrick says places like Hallsville School District could see a significant impact.
What we received as an estimate from them that they may see a reduction up to $240,000 in revenue a year from implementation of this.
But some people are tired of waiting. One Missouri rep is pushing an initiative petition to get the freeze on the 2024 ballot in August. She needs signatures from 5% of Boone County voters and says she's almost a quarter of the way there.
We have well over 1,000 signatures, but with the push right now, I have about 50 volunteers helping me, and we're going to events, and our friends and our family and our churches and our neighbors to get them to sign.
Tolson Reach says it's important to help senior citizens.
You have to understand they get a monthly Social Security check. They're on a fixed income, and they don't get pay raises to keep up with inflation.
Lee says she signed the petition and doesn't feel like she's being looked out for.
The people that we have elected to represent us, and I mean even in these local areas, in our county areas, are not truly representing us.
Tolson Reach says she needs to get 4,600 signatures and have them certified by next August to get them on the ballot. In the studio, Tia Maggio, KOMU 8 News.
Okay, thanks, Tia. Here's what's happening right now. East and westbound lanes are currently closed through a portion of U.S. Highway 54 due to an accident in Mexico, Missouri. Here's a closer look now at that traffic on MoDOT's website. You can see the affected area there in red, stretching from Liberty Street down to Clark Street. MSHP Troop F confirmed the accident and said they have at least one trooper on the scene. 2 helicopters also responded. Troop F did not have any information on injuries at this time. We've had a pretty mild homecoming weekend here in Columbia, sunny and 70s, but will that weather stick around for your work week? Let's bring in now Chief Meteorologist Matt Beckwith with your evening forecast. And Matt, boy, you really hit it out of the ballpark this weekend.
Yeah, I'll gladly take credit for the good. The bad, we blame someone else.
Right.
Looking at our current conditions live from the top of our tower, you can see the lights of Columbia as we look towards it. Temperatures in the 50s, 54 in Fulton, 57 in Brunswick, 57 Jefferson City, 56 in Columbia. Satellite shows you there are a few clouds out there. We're going to continue to see a few clouds drifting our way through the night. But something you could probably tell, that camera just shaking a little bit. Winds out of the east at 10 miles per hour, but notice off to our south and west, those winds are more southeasterly. That's important because that southerly wind's going to be kicking up tomorrow, and that's going to be bringing us some warmer temperatures. 55 to start the day in the morning, 73 at noon. Keep in mind, today we only reached the upper 60s, so we're going to be warmer than we were today by noon. 4 o'clock, 83 degrees. It's a warm one. We'll talk about how long this sticks around coming up in just a bit, Emily.
Okay, thanks, Matt. Today marked the beginning of the end of homecoming weekend in Columbia. Those murals in downtown, well, they got washed away, and many parents and alums are on their way home. Homecoming weekend is always a busy one for Columbia. Some families say they felt this weekend was busier than usual. They say it was likely because of that good weather and good football. Downtown businesses got more foot traffic, and one employee at Sparky's Ice Cream says it's always fun to see all those new customers.
It was definitely a little bit busier than normal. We had a lot more out-of-town guests. A lot of people from St. Louis coming in, from Chicago. All the alumni like to come back. I mean, that's the whole homecoming thing.
Mizzou football's next game is Saturday, November 4th. The Tigers visit Georgia, which is currently ranked #1 in the country. Missouri is celebrating the Renaissance. Coming up next, see how live performers combined entertainment with education. Plus, more U.S. military support on its way to Israel. An update on the conflict in the Middle East.